Okay, these seagulls are wilding out and I have no idea why. So I'm gonna apologize. Not much that I can do about it. I figured this video is so long overdue and I just need to make it. And I've gotten so many questions since I went blonde in November, I guess, so it's almost been a year. But ever since I went blonde, I've gotten so many questions about how to maintain it, how the process went, how it feels, any regrets, what would I recommend, anything under the rainbow about blonde hair as like an Asian or from really dark hair. And so yeah, I'm just gonna dump all my information here. Hope you find this helpful. Yeah, let's just get into it. So a little bit of my hair journey, I guess that's where we'll start. Obviously I have very dark hair. So my sophomore or junior year, I believe, I decided to go blonde. I didn't tell anyone, I just did it, and then I did it at home. So there's a very big difference between doing it at home by yourself and doing it at a salon, and I'll talk about the pros and cons of both. So the first time that I did it by myself at home, I went to Sally's. So if you're gonna do it at home, I would at least recommend that you go to Sally's or somewhere where you can get like actually good bleach. Like, don't just go to Walgreens or Shoppers and buy like the box, because that is not, it's not like salon quality, it's not quality bleach. If you're gonna do it at home, just at least get good products. So I would just buy the powder and the developer, and I watched a ton of videos on YouTube. So I guess that's the same that you're doing right now, but I would recommend watching a lot of them, because my experience is gonna be different from everyone else's, and it's the best way to kind of gauge what your experience will be like. And yeah, everyone's journey is very different. So when I did it at home, I had longer hair. It was like maybe down here, and throughout this video I'll just like plug in photos of my hair as I can find them. But I probably processed that 2 or 3 times, like fully covered in bleach, and then a couple of other times where I mixed it in with my conditioner to kind of lighten it a little bit. My hair is very strong. It's like Asian hair is notoriously very strong, and so I can process my hair that much and it won't all break off. But you should be very careful, because your hair can and will break off if you push it too far. You'll know when it's damaged. But if it feels really gummy, if it feels like you're running your hands through your hair when it's like kind of wet and it's like sticking to you and it's breaking really easily, it feels like vermicelli noodles, it's damaged. It's really damaged. And then when it dries, it's very hay-like. Then yeah, you're gonna want to slow down. At that point, your hair is really at its breaking point, and if you continue to process it heavily, then it will fall out. Do not push your hair to that limit. I learned the hard way. And really look at the times. Like if it says only keep it in for 30 minutes, do not put it in for 45 minutes thinking that that's gonna be fine. It's better for you to put it in for 30 minutes, wash it out, maybe it didn't process the way that you wanted it to, and then do it again, than for you to do a 45-minute wait and then all your hair has fallen out in the shower. So you've been warned. That's probably the scariest thing about doing it by yourself at home. And that's not to say that if you go to salon, you won't have breakage. You will have breakage. For me, the second time that I went blonde, I went to a salon, and I have a video on it. So that's the one where I went blonde in 3 hours. And that is pretty insane. Like, to go from black to blonde in 3 hours is ridiculous. It definitely did make my hair very dry, and it's very harsh for your hair. That's why a lot of people will say that it's not possible, or that they won't do it, and it very much is possible, but every hairstylist is different in what they will take on. I just have been very lucky that I have hairstylists that are like, yes, I will do this, and they believe in their abilities to carry my hair from black to blonde. But if people are telling you that it's not possible, that's a lie. It definitely is possible, because my hair is living proof of that. But just not everyone will do it, because they don't want your hair to break. And so for me, when I did it, like, a lot of people did comment and they were like, it looks so dry, like it's blotchy, and like that's what's gonna happen if you do it that quickly. And then also, my hair wasn't straight up virgin hair. I thought that it was, but then I remembered that I'd actually like had highlighted some parts of it, and so different parts of my hair was processing at different times. So some were lighter and some were a little bit darker, and then some just got more damaged than other pieces, and that can happen. And I think you have to know that going into it, that it's very possible that that will happen. Just because you go to a salon does not mean that you won't have breakage. They will do everything in their power to not have your hair break, and they'll use things like Smart Bond or Olaplex. There's a lot of different technologies now that didn't exist when I was first doing my hair at home that will help keep your hair intact and keep its integrity while you're bleaching it. And that's why when you go to a salon, you're paying more. You're paying more for the products, the quality of the products, their knowledge, expertise, their time, and it's very expensive. If you're going to a salon, the first time doing it at a salon, I had it in a bob, that 3-hour session, that was $200, and it's gonna range no matter where you go. Everyone's gonna have a different price, but it's a lot of money, and it's not just paying for you going blonde. You have to also think about you're paying for the products. So once you go blonde, your hair care is gonna be so different from when your hair was naturally whatever color it was before. Before, my hair, like, my biggest issues were that it was flat and like too smooth, like yeah, that it was flat. So I was like trying to get volume in it. I would use volumizing spray, just like moisturizing, fairly light conditioners because I didn't want my hair to be too flat. Whereas now, I'll show you guys my hair care. This is the shampoo that I use, the conditioner, and then this hair mask. And I've used a lot of different types of products, and everything is gonna be different for everyone. I personally don't like using purple shampoos because I kind of feel like with purple shampoos, like, their purpose is to tone your hair, whereas for me, my main concern is moisturizing it and like restoring it. And even though there are some that advertise that it's gonna do both, like, I really just prioritize getting my hair back to health, or like maintaining like some kind of moisture in there. So I prioritize moisture over the color of it because I honestly don't mind when it's kind of yellow. I'm not really going to talk about purple shampoos in this video. You can probably do a lot of research. There honestly are so many out there, and a lot of them work really well. So yeah, do with that what you will. These ones that I use, I got them from my salon, and it is the Shu Uemura, and this is the Ultimate Remedy shampoo and conditioner, and it's for ultra damaged hair, which is literally my hair. Both me and Dayon use this, and it's really good for color safe hair. When my hair was orange, so this will tell you how good it is. So when my hair was orange, I used this shampoo and conditioner and barely any color came out. That does also mean that that color, like the Joico color orange that she used, was really good, but my hair retained it really well. Like, if you look at my photos, my hair was vibrant orange for a very long time, and it's very rare when you're coloring your hair because usually it'll start to fade every single time that you wash your hair out, and that really has to do with your shampoo. So these retain color so well. So if you have colored hair, like vibrant hair, and you want to retain it, then I would highly suggest this shampoo. It's really good at moisturizing and also retains your color. But then towards the end of it, I really wanted to kind of get a lot of the color out and make it fade faster because I wanted it to be like kind of a peachy, more like creamsicle color. And previously, before I bought these, someone told me at Lush that their shampoos are very moisturizing, which is a lie. It's like very drying for my hair. Maybe it was just the one that I got, but it smells like jasmine. It's a little yellow shampoo bar, and I was really interested in it just because obviously I was like, I don't want to use bottles. So I bought this Lush bar, and it really dried out my hair, but I really like the smell of it, so I just kept it anyways because I'm a low-key hoarder. And so I kept it, and then I used it once on my orange hair and found that it took out so much color. So if you do want your hair to fade, then I would highly suggest getting a Lush bar because it will fade out your hair. Like, it takes out like color, like so much color. And so Dayon used it when he just went blue, and there was like a lot of blue on his scalp still, and he wanted the color to be a little bit lighter. So yeah, he used that. A ton of blue came out, and it's like the perfect shade now. So that's what I use for like shampoo and conditioner. And for my mask, first hairdresser that got me blonde, Monet, she recommended that I get this mask, and I got it from Sephora. It's very expensive. It's the Caviar Repair Fill and Fix Treatment Mask for damage-free hair, and it does work really well. When I use the 3 of these, then my hair, it slowly gets better. I'm not gonna say that using any product is gonna magically, actually there's one product that I'll get to. This smells really good, and it works really well, and a little bit goes a long way. So I have had this since November, and I still have quite a bit left, about half left. So I would recommend getting a good mask, and like all these products are expensive. but this is what I found has worked best for me. And if you're gonna spend money on your hair, if you're gonna go blonde, then you should, like, it's the same as like if you're going to a restaurant and you're tipping, you know, like you wouldn't go to a restaurant, especially a nice restaurant, and then not tip anything, because tip honestly should be included. If you can't afford the tip, then you probably shouldn't be eating out. And that's the same with hair products. Like, if you're gonna be bleaching your hair or coloring your hair, then you need to invest in aftercare and proper aftercare, because there's no point in spending $200+ on getting your hair the perfect shade of something and then just using like whatever products and then ruining your hair afterwards. I have tried a lot of different products, and I've tried drugstore ones. For a while I was using Pantene, this Pantene like 3-minute mask, and it was strange. Like, it worked really well like the first time, like the first 2 times, and then after that it really just did nothing for me. And I was really excited because I was like, I finally found a really affordable mask. It's like $7 at the drugstore. But yeah, I don't know, I haven't had a lot of luck with it. Like, it worked really well the first couple times and I don't know why, but it stopped working for me, whereas this is like very consistent. So this is L'Oreal Serie Expert Enforcer Night Anti-Breakage, and the last time that I was at my salon, I was talking to my hairstylist and I really wanted something that I could put into my hair afterwards, because I really like leave-in conditioners and serums and oils and stuff like that, and I bought a couple like cheaper ones from Winners and they just left like a residue. So it's really hard to kind of understand your hair if you haven't really thought about it or given much thought to it. It's kind of like the same as your body. If you're kind of used to it feeling uncomfortable, if you're used to your hair feeling a certain way, then you don't really know that it's wrong. And I understand when it's like getting better or when it's like getting worse, when it's more dry. Like, I'm very in tune with like what it needs at this point in my hair journey, I guess. And so I started using these like random little products that I got from Winners, because I was like, I just need to put something in my hair. It's very dry, and it was just creating a buildup. So every single time that I was washing my hair, after I get out of the shower and it dries, like, it still feels dirty, and it feels like thick, and that's residue. And usually that can like clog your pores, and then that can really like kind of obstruct like your hair growth, and that's not good. So don't buy just like really cheap products with like a ton of silicone in it, because even though it feels nice in that one moment, you're like, wow, it's so smooth, like if it feels like it's not really fully washing out, if it feels like it's leaving a residue, then it's probably because it is. So I've been using this every single night, honestly during the day too, but it's meant for the nighttime. Its purpose is that like when you're going to sleep, like, and you know, you wake up and your hair is just a hot mess, especially when your hair is damaged, like when it's blonde or yeah, just damaged, then it'll get like really frizzy, like all these weird kinks, whereas this helps keep your hair in the same shape or form that it was before you went to sleep. So like, it's actually insane. Like, when I go to the salon and then she like does my hair and she straightens it and it looks beautiful, then I'll put this in every single night and it prolongs my hair. Like, that blowout that she gave me, or like when she straightened my hair, like it will last a week where I don't have to wash my hair because it still looks good. Whereas if I didn't use it, then it would like kind of get those kinks and weird little bumps when I go to sleep. So I really like using this because when you do style your hair, which you shouldn't do a lot of, it really helps to prolong it, and it's just like a really like absorbent cream. It doesn't sit on top of your hair. So yeah, I would definitely check this out as well. I've still yet to get like a good hair oil. I think next time I go back to the salon, then I'm probably gonna ask her what she would recommend, because I really just like putting stuff into my hair after I get out of the shower. This is a little bit unrelated, but when your hair is damaged, you will get a lot of flyaways, like baby hairs, and I normally have a lot of baby hairs, period, but when your hair starts breaking off, like they're little pieces, right? So you just have like a ton of them all over the place. And so when I'm trying to do like my nice like sleek little like low bun, it doesn't work as well because I just have so many flyaways. So invest in a good like hair product, and this is actually Dayon's, and he doesn't use it anymore because his hair is short, but he used this a lot when it was longer, and it's just like a little wax thing. I just use a little bit, rub it between my palms, and then I just use it to flatten out all my flyaways, and it really helps to make your look a lot more polished, because I am a victim of it, and I do it all the time where I will just tie my hair. I'm like, yeah, this looks fine. But my flyaways are insane and it just doesn't look as polished. So yeah, invest in products. These are all the products that I use, and you will find that if you are not a products person, then maybe you don't actually want to go blonde, because your hair care is going to have to step its game up once you damage your hair. So back to my hair journey. So I know we went on a whole little tangent, but I did it myself when I was in high school. Oh, I went like purple in between there, and then I went back to having black hair. And then when I had black hair, I tried really hard to grow it out and just have it be like healthy, because I go through phases even now where I'm like, I'm so tired of having damaged hair. I'm so tired of having it be so much work. I want it to be black and healthy and flat again. Like, I go through phases a lot, and so that's why I'm never really able to grow my hair out, because the furthest I've been able to grow it is really here. And you could work a lot harder at it to grow your hair out longer. It's definitely possible. That is what I'm gonna try to do this time around. But you can also do like a ton of masks. So besides just like this mask that you would do in the shower, like avocado oil, coconut oil, things like that. And I am honestly very lazy, so I won't do stuff like that, but it does help a lot. You don't have to spend money on all these expensive products. There are definitely things that you can do that are cheaper, like the avocado olive oil. But like in terms of shampoo and conditioner, like at least invest in that. So yeah, anyways, and then I went blonde again in November, and then since then I did I was blonde, and then Dayon actually told me that my hair was looking a little bit brassy right before I went to Miami. And so I did this weird mixture. My color science was so bad, but I like had toner and then I mixed some blue in it, which is just so stupid because yellow and blue makes green. And I should have put purple in it, because at least the yellow or the purple will cancel out the yellow, but I wasn't thinking. So I put blue in my toner, made my hair green. I don't have any photos because I was so embarrassed. And I was like, I will never make a video on this because this is just so stupid. Like, how could you have done that, Nina? But yeah, I turned my hair like this really gross green. And at that point I was like, fuck, okay, I'm just gonna dye my hair brown, because there's literally like nothing else I can do but to get your hair from blonde to black again. Like, if you change your mind, say I was gonna go back, I can't just put a black hair dye on top of it. That's not how it works. When you bleach your hair, what you're doing is you're stripping all the pigment out of it. I think a lot of people think that somehow when you're bleaching your hair that you're like putting a blonde color on top. That is not what happens. When you're coloring your hair, you're basically putting color on top of your hair follicle. When you're bleaching, you're stripping. So you're like taking all the pigment out of your hair. That's why people's hair will go through like the red phase or the orange phase. That's because as you're stripping the pigment out, that's what's like underlying, like those are the colors that are underlying in your hair. When you have blonde hair, then you have no pigment really in your hair, so you need to start putting pigment back. Dark brown or black dyes, they're basically putting red pigment onto your hair. So I've done this before. I went from blonde back to black, and I did it myself, and I thought I could just go to the store and buy a black hair dye. It would be easy, simple, but it actually turns your hair this really gross, like reddish pink, like really gross, like the type of color where it's like your hair is damaged. But basically that's just depositing like the first layer of pigment. So if you do want to actually go black, then what you should do is dye it once with the black or the brown, and so then you'll have that gross red hair color, and then you do it again one more time with another like box dye or whatever you're doing, one more time, and then because it already has that red foundation, then you can like the pigment will actually stick this time, and then your hair will actually be like a brown or a black or whatever. But you can find more information about that online. You just have to look up how to go from blonde to black. So when I looked it up, I figured that I already had a red hair dye at home, so I can actually just dye my hair red, and that will put in the pigments, and then I'll do the black on top. And so I was like pretty sad, because I was like, I wasn't ready to be done with the blonde, but it looks so bad like this, and I stained my hair. Like, there's no way that I can get this green out, and I didn't think that my hair would be able to withstand bleach again. So I put the red pigment on, and the red actually ended up being like a hot pink. So if you guys have been following me for a while on Instagram, then you guys know that phase. That's my hair when I was in Miami. actually ended up really liking it. My parents hated it, but I actually ended up really liking it, so I kept it. And it was just hot pink for a hot minute, and then it faded out. It was a really beautiful like light pink. I put some coral in it, and honestly those are probably my favorite hair colors. And it like faded really weird because I went swimming, so like the chlorine stripped my hair. So then it ended up, when I put the coral in it, it ended up being like patchy, but in a really cute way. And then I got another trim, and then that's when I went to Alicia. So Alicia is my hairstylist now. She works at Brush Salon in Vancouver, and I love her so much. I went to her and she made me orange. And so from orange, it was like really, really vibrant. And then I wanted to fade it out, and I wanted to have a peach color. And so we like stripped more of the orange out, put a little bit of pink on top, so it was coral. And then once I was kind of over that, like in the span of 3 months, I went from pink to orange to blonde again, which is a lot for your hair. Like, it looks very normal when you're viewing it from the outside. It looks very easy, but it's not an easy process, and my hair has gone through so much, and that's why it's so dry now. To get my hair blonde, we had to strip it out, and then she like root shaded it. So this is another thing. I've been doing bleach outs for as long as I've been blonde. Like, bleach outs are when you put bleach on your root and like literally everything, like you're bleaching out the entire head. And I love that look. That is my favorite look. I love being fully blonde. A lot of people do the root shading, which is what I have now. So it's like a darker color and then it blends in because they don't want bleach on their scalp. So it does hurt, and people don't ever talk about that, but it hurts so much. It didn't hurt as much in the beginning, but then as time went on, like, you would think that you would develop a tolerance, but it actually gets worse. So it's gotten to the point where I actually can't bleach out my hair anymore because I'm allergic to bleach now. I broke out in hives the last time that we did a bleach out, like full on. My body was like red and like welts all over. Like, I had to take allergy meds so that it would stop. We had to wash out all the bleach, and like my scalp was just on fire. Like, it hurts like someone's squeezing your head, and then you get like all these scabs on it. Like, it's really not a fun process, and for some people it doesn't hurt as much, but for me it's just gotten to a point where my scalp cannot handle it anymore. And so now, like this last time that we did a root shade. Okay, my camera totally died, and it's been probably an hour since I let it charge, so I kind of forgot where I left off. So yeah, what we do is it takes a really long time, a lot longer. We have to use foils. I say we like I do anything, but Alicia, my hairstylist, she'll use foils, and she bleaches like up to like about this much off of the root so it doesn't touch my scalp, and then that lightens, so then you have kind of a medium shade, so it'll go like black, my real hair, the lighter shade, and then the lightest shade, and then she blends it together by toning it. And it is a much longer process for sure, because it's a lot easier to put it just straight up on your scalp and lighten it that way, but my body just can't take it anymore. So I did mention earlier that there is this one product that will like magically make your hair a million times better. So it's called APHOGEE, and they've actually reached out to me before to do like a sponsored video, but I didn't want to do it just because I found APHOGEE before any of that. It was when I went blonde the first time, and I did a ton of research, and it's for when your hair is like straight up damaged. Like, don't do it on your hair if it's not like breaking and brittle and like gummy, because it will actually harm your hair. But if your hair is actually damaged, then it is amazing. It is like kind of a weird product, but it's basically 2 solutions, and the main solution you'll put on your damp hair, and then you fully saturate it, and then you want to dry it. Either you air dry it, and it takes a really long time, or you blow dry it, but it will harden. It will fully harden, so when you blow dry your hair, you don't want to like tousle it or anything like that. You want to just kind of like lightly blow dry it and not agitate it too much, because your hair can break because it's hard. And so once that fully hardens, then you go and rinse it out, and then you have like a conditioner that it comes with, because it's a really drying process to like, I guess, put protein back into your hair. So you want to put the moisture back into it, and after you do that, you can instantly feel that your hair starts to feel like real hair again. And then it takes like up to 2 weeks for it to like fully come into effect. So whenever I do that, it's usually if I like went swimming in chlorine and my hair got really messed up, or like prolonged sun exposure. makes my hair really dry. And so whenever my hair is like really dying, then I use APHOGEE, and I actually don't have it with me now. It's in San Francisco. I left it there, but I'm going back to San Francisco next week, so I'm gonna do a treatment, and it honestly is amazing. If your hair is like, you're at a point where you're like, I think I need to shave this, it is so damaged, I can't take it anymore, buy APHOGEE. Give it a shot. I've only ever heard amazing things from it. The only times where it will be an issue is if your hair really isn't that damaged and you're using it. It will damage your hair if it's not actually damaged. So yeah, only use it if it's brittle, dry, gummy. You will know. Like, I'm not trying to deter anybody from going blonde. It is honestly amazing. I love being blonde. It goes with everything. I just want to be realistic, because I feel like a lot of videos are like, yeah, it's amazing, like you should do it, but you don't really talk about all the actual things that go into it. Like, my hair might look cute right now, but 99% of the time my hair looks like actual ass. Like, it looks so bad, and it only ever looks good when I style it. But then the issue is that you don't want to style it because you're using heat products on it, and it only damages your hair more. So it's kind of a toss-up. Like right now, like I only curled my bangs, and all of this is like my normal hair, and it looks good like this. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of work to maintain, let alone like short hair. Like short hair in general just is a lot of work. I think more work than having long hair in terms of like styling it and actually having it look good. But yeah, if you want to go blonde, then I absolutely would recommend it. Make sure that you got some money in the bank beforehand. Make sure that you actually invest in products. Do your research, because once you go not virgin hair anymore, like once you bleach it and wreck it, it's gonna take a very long time for you to grow it out again. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling now. But if you want to check out my Instagram, you will see my whole hair process, and if you look at the dates, then you'll have a general idea of like how long I was this color and like how long it took until it faded and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Sorry it took so long to do this. Sorry that this is a long video, but I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.